everyone, my name is Craig Campbell, a member of the product training team here at General Motors of Canada. Now I'm here in the studio today with the Chevrolet Malibu. Do you know that the Malibu nameplate has been around for over 4 decades? And the latest one, it is truly the best ever. The Malibu provides a unique combination of distinctive styling, extraordinary fuel efficiency, and great quality. Now, no wonder the Malibu has won more than 30 prestigious awards. Now this vehicle, it's an outstanding choice. It's got a nice sleek style and a very luxurious look and feel. I think that you will be able to tell throughout this short presentation that we are extremely proud of this car. Now I won't have time today to go through everything, but I do want you to see the kind of details that the designers have built into this vehicle. Now just look at the front grille. The Malibu, it looks far more expensive than what it is. Check out all the chrome touches around the grille and in the lower fascia, and regardless of what model you get, these touches of chrome are standard. But if you look a little closer, let's zoom in right into that headlamp. Can you see it? The designers went the extra mile and actually built a little Chevy logo into the headlamp reflector. There are actually 13 Chevy logos in total around this vehicle, many of which are kind of hidden just like that one there. Now the next time that you're around the Malibu, go ahead and count for yourself. Can you find all 13? It's kind of the little extra touches like these that really show that the designer sweated every detail possible to bring you a world-class vehicle. Now if you look a little closer at the hood, I want you to notice something that's a little different here as well. Now normally the hood closes kind of right on top of the grille, meaning you don't have to be so precise since the grille it hides the gaps. But with this Malibu, we use something called an island hood. This means that when the hood closes, it is actually surrounded by metal all the way around, including in the front fascia here. Now with this setup, you would immediately notice any imperfection in the gaps and also the levels as it transitions from one piece of metal to the other. Now, not only is it a perfect 3mm gap all the way around, but these two surfaces, as they kind of match up, they are absolutely flush to one another. Now this design, it is a lot harder than it looks to accomplish, but again, the designers, they sweated those details. Now even the wiper blades, they have a quality story. They are the new flat blade design, which contours to the windshield for a better and cleaner swipe. And because of its shape, it also helps to reduce wind noise as you're driving along. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the hood and we're going to talk more about the engine, but more specifically, we're going to talk about the Malibu's outstanding fuel economy story. Okay, let's start off with an engine that I think will surprise many of you on how powerful and responsive it is. The standard engine is a 2.4-liter, 4-cylinder Ecotec, and it offers 170 horsepower and 158 pound-feet of torque. 170 horsepower. Do you see that? It wasn't that long ago that V6s struggled to produce that much power. Now this engine, it is equipped with variable valve timing to make it easier for the engine to breathe at all RPM levels, which provides the best of power and fuel efficiency. And what a gas mileage story it is. With the powerful 6-speed automatic transmission, the Malibu can get up to 5.9 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway with a combined rating of just 7.8 liters per 100 overall. Now if it is power you seek, you will love the available 3.6-liter V6, 252 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque. When you hit the accelerator, you will be pleasantly thrown back into your seat with all that torque. Now the V6 is also equipped with variable valve timing, and it still provides outstanding fuel economy numbers for the amount of power delivered. On the highway, you still achieve a 7.8 liters per 100 kilometer rating. Now regardless of what engine you choose, the Malibu, it's a very safe car even in the wintertime. With the help of things like a standard full-function traction control, and this feature helps control the engine torque, and it will also apply the brakes to a spinning wheel. And ultimately, what this is all about is it helps you get going even when you thought you couldn't because it's too slippery out, and you can get going safely. That's what traction control is all about. Now Malibu also comes standard with our electronic stability control system that we call StabiliTrack. Now, since we all live in Canada, you have likely found yourself in an oversteer or understeer situation. You know, when the car just doesn't seem to go where you're pointing it. Well, with the StabiliTrack system, it will actually sense the difference between the direction that the car is going to the direction that you, the driver, wants it to go. Now, all this is done in milliseconds, long before you realize that you might be sliding. It then makes the proper corrections. It actually uses the vehicle's brakes and engine power to kind of pulsate on one side to help you go in that intended direction. Now, getting you home safely, regardless of the weather, is the Malibu's main goal. Now, while we're here, take a look at all the insulation underneath the hood padding. There's insulation all over the place because the Malibu, it is a very quiet vehicle for all the passengers inside. You can have a nice conversation without all the exterior noise. There are literally dozens of sound deadening features all around this car. And I'm going to point out a few more as we do work our way around. And the next position is the side, and we'll check it out there. The Malibu comes standard with great-looking 17-inch wheels, but when you move up to the LTZ, you also move up to 18-inch alloy spoke wheels. Now, behind those wheels, you will find all the safety features that you'd expect to find. Four-wheel disc brakes, standard ABS, and as I mentioned before, full-function traction control. All the safety features available and all at standard equipment. Now, also, as I mentioned a moment ago, the quiet story continues here at the side. Now, specifically with the side doors. The Malibu actually has standard laminated side glass. Now, laminated side glass is actually two pieces of glass with a lamination in between. Now, if you look real closely, just at the top, the next time you're close to a Malibu, you can actually feel it kind of with your nail. Now, acoustic laminated glass like this offers several advantages. Obviously, as the name implies, it vastly reduces the noise from entering into the cabin. Now, interesting though, it will also block 90% of the UV rays as well. This not only helps to keep your cabin more comfortable, but it also lessens the load on your air conditioning system. And since it is fully laminated, it will also protect you in a collision as it acts as a safety net since that lamination holds this glass together. Okay. There's lots more that I could cover on the outside, but what I'm going to do now is start to take a look at the interior and talk about the details there. Just by opening up the doors, you can really start to appreciate the long 112.3-inch wheelbase. Now, this is actually longer than the Accord, it is longer than the Camry, and it's even longer than the Fusion. Now, while the long wheelbase provides a nice, stable, and comfortable ride, it also allows these doors to be larger. And by larger, it means it has more access to get in and out. It makes things a lot easier. So make sure you try out the front seats and the back seats because no matter where you sit, there's lots of space. You can stretch out, and all of the seats are very supportive and very comfortable. Now, when you do get inside, just look around. The dual cockpit design on the Malibu, it allows for a flowing design with some premium soft touch materials for all of your main contact points. Now, this is a great looking interior. It is also an incredibly safe interior as well. Now, I'm going to hold the OnStar story until we move around to the driver's seat, but every Malibu is equipped with 6 standard airbags, including a curtain airbag, which protects both the front and the rear seat passengers. Now, the Malibu also enjoys a full 5-star crash test rating from the NHTSA, which is the best in the business. Now, interestingly, the Honda Accord does not enjoy the same rating as their back seat only hits the 3-star mark. Now, a similar story with the Ford Fusion, as its back seat area only reaches the 4-star mark for side impacts, which is important to know, especially if you're purchasing this car as a family vehicle. Now, every Malibu also comes with a great sound system that includes 6 premium speakers, CD player, auxiliary input jack, which means you can plug in your iPod and your MP3s. Now, all that, it's standard equipment. But you can upgrade to a mirror-shaking Bose audio system with 8 speakers. But there is one option that I think you should look at, and it is this. It's a USB port. It is standard on the LTZ, but an affordable option on both LT models in the audio interface package. Now, here's the scoop. This USB port not only allows you to simply load in some MP3 files on a memory stick and then play it directly through your stereo, but it also allows you to fully integrate your iPod as well as a part of your entertainment system. Now, just by plugging in the USB cable that came with your iPod, you can now control all of your music through the radio or through the steering wheel controls. The radio, it even shows the song titles from your MP3 files that you have loaded, which means, since I can control everything there, I can just put that iPod down and leave it there. And when I pick it up, I'll find that it has been fully charged as well, because that USB, it works as a charger. Now, it's a great option for a lot of you iPod music lovers. Now, before I move on to the back seat, let me just mention some of the seating options that you can get in the Malibu. The Malibu LS and LT come with a great custom cloth covering on the seats. Now, this particular vehicle here happens to be an LTZ, which means it is fully equipped with a beautiful leather and a multi-level heated seat cushion and seat back. Now, this leather is very comfortable, yet it's also very durable, so it looks great a few years down the road, too. You know, the seats that actually impress me the most are the ones that are on the LT Platinum Edition. Now, we call them Ultra Suede. They are heated too for some nice comfort, but you really have to check them out and feel them for yourself. If you're around the dealership, go check out that LT Platinum seat with the Ultra Suede. I think you'll really like it. Now, as nice as the front seats are, the back seats, they're just as good. Let me take a look inside here. Not only will you find a lot of legroom in the back seats, but you'll also find extra legroom integrated into the back of the front seats. Notice how the back of that front seat is actually curved in to allow for more knee room. Now, the seat by itself, it is nicely contoured with a very long seat cushion at the bottom for some great thigh support, as well as 2 adjustable headrests for better comfort. Now, if you have young kids, you may want to also opt for the available roll-up rear window shade, which is actually really great at blocking any of the hot sun from bothering the kids in the back. Now, it is available on our LT Platinum and our LTZ model. Now, you can also get some other options back here, like a regular 3-prong plug that is a 110-volt outlet, so the kids can plug in any of their electronic toys and keep them entertained. Now, the nice thing about this regular 3-prong outlet is that you don't have to spend any extra money on any car chargers. You know, forget the kids for a second. If you need to charge up your laptop just for a few minutes on the way to the meeting, well, it'll work absolutely perfectly there as well. I've done it myself. Now, of course, you'll find that the Malibu comes standard with 60/40 split folding seats, which allows folding just one side or both of them if you needed more space. But by putting the one side here, you can still fit 1 or 2 passengers in the back seat. Now, this feature seems pretty standard, but just as an example, the Honda Accord, it only comes standard with a solid folding bench. That's right, it does not split. They do have a small pass-through though, but if you're going to have any cargo that is larger than that pass-through can handle, well, you simply can choose the cargo or your passengers, because you can't have both, because if that seat goes down, you lose your entire back seat. Now, it may be a tough decision some days, and if you're going to take the kids or all their cargo, you know what I'm saying here. The 60/40 gives you lots of flexibility. Now, here's another point to make about the back seat. As you can see, the back portion of the seat, it is actually a durable plastic, which will prevent any articles in the trunk from damaging the back of the seat. Now, I don't know about you, but when I load cargo into the trunk, like a hockey stick as an example, I kind of use it as a battering ram to push the seats down. That hard plastic there, well, it's going to keep these seats protected for years to come. Now, let me show you what I mean when we talk about cargo by just going to the back of the Malibu. At the back, the Malibu shows off its beautiful styling. You can actually see some nice Chevrolet cues here with those circular tail lamps. And if you look carefully again, you'll see a couple more of those Chevy logos built in. Now, before we pop the trunk, I just want to quickly point out the antenna. You won't find a mast antenna like you would on any other vehicles. This one actually has it built into the glass, and it kind of looks like an extra defrosting line, but having it built into the glass like this really helps out because it keeps those nice clean lines of the Malibu. Plus, you don't have to worry about any damage if you had that mast antenna going through a car wash. Okay, let's pop the trunk, and again, standard keyless entry, we can open it up. Now, when we do look inside here, there's lots of space. There's actually a total of 15.1 cubic feet of space back here. But there is something to note, and you can use every inch of that space because of, as you can see on the side, the Malibu has scissor-type hinges. They're actually mounted on the outside of the trunk area. This means that you can pack pretty much as you want into this trunk, all the way up to the top edges, and then when you go to close the lid, because those scissor hinges are mounted on the outside, you're not going to crush any of your cargo when you do. Now, remember earlier I mentioned using a hockey stick as a battering ram. Well, just picture yourself loading in all your hockey equipment, and with just one quick release pull here of a release handle for the seat, and then you can use that stick to knock the seats down the rest of the way. Remember, it's that hard plastic there that allows you to do that. And again, the seats work perfectly. And don't forget, it is something that you can't do on the Honda Accord. When you fold down both seats, the overall opening is also very large. So beyond just a hockey stick fitting in there, the Malibu is perfect for your trip to the local Home Depot or maybe IKEA. The size of that opening, how wide it is and how tall it is, it will surprise you on how much stuff you can actually fit. So the Malibu has a very large and usable trunk. It's flexible enough to adapt to most of your cargo needs, and it is also fully insulated all the way around to keep the noise outside of the cabin. But the most important position for most of you is coming up, and that's the driver's seat. So why don't you meet me around the side and we'll check it out there. One of the best places to show the value and the versatility of the Malibu is right here in the driver's position. First, with the standard keyless entry and the available remote start system, which is a factory installed, fully integrated system, it can actually be used to warm up and cool down the Malibu even before you take a seat. And really, it's not just for those cold winter days. You can actually start your car while you're having your morning coffee in the summertime too, to make sure that by the time you get out here, it is that perfect temperature and you are all ready to go. Now, while a tilt and telescopic steering wheel is standard equipment on every Malibu, I love it because it gets in that right perfect position for you. You also get a standard power height adjuster as well as a power lumbar support. Now the LT Platinum Edition, it gives you a 6-way power driver's seat, and the LTZ, like this one here, has an 8-way power seat. Now every Malibu also comes with a standard driver information center. It's a nice display right in the middle of your instrument panel, and the controls are all located very easy right on the steering wheel just on the left-hand side. So this feature kind of really gives you a first-hand knowledge of all the different components of your vehicle, including things that are important to me like fuel range and average fuel economy. Now you can even track your oil life since the Malibu has a standard oil life monitoring system. An oil life monitor, it will usually save you about 1 or 2 unnecessary oil changes per year, but it's also a great lead-in to something else. We call it the Vehicle Diagnostics Report email. With your OnStar subscription, your Malibu will actually send you an email each month telling you all about the health of the major systems in the vehicle, including your brakes, the engine, your emissions, and even your oil life, so you can stay on top of that. Each month, this diagnostic email keeps you fully informed. Plus, if you sign up for the dealer maintenance notification, it will even keep track of your regular maintenance that's required, and it will link you directly to the dealership for service. So make sure you take a moment just to familiarize yourself with all of the handy information in that driver information center. You can just scroll through using the buttons. And also, don't forget to check out what's available in the diagnostic email. Now, with legislation changing across Canada, Bluetooth is going to be a very important feature for a lot of you. The LT and the LTZ offer standard Bluetooth, but the base LS, you can also add it on there for a very small cost. But pairing your Bluetooth phone with your vehicle, it really couldn't be easier. Just let me show you using my phone. And it all actually starts with the button on the steering wheel right here. Now, if you just press that button quickly, it will mute or unmute your radio. If you hold that button just for a few seconds, you can actually now talk to your Malibu. What I want to do is give you a quick demonstration on how easy it can be to pair your Malibu up with your phone, so now you can go hands-free with Bluetooth. And it really only takes a few seconds to make it happen. Here's a story. Remember, you hold onto this button just for a couple seconds. Let's do it now.
Ready.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth ready.
Pair.
Pair. Please start a search on your Bluetooth phone.
Okay.
Thank you.
What I'll do is
Goodbye.
I'll just turn that system off there. Essentially what I have to do from that point on is with my phone just do a Bluetooth pairing. You do a search on your phone. If you have a phone you've paired up before, you know how easy it is. And the system is then going to ask you to give your phone a name with the vehicle. I'd just call it like Craig's phone. and then it's done. Folks, that's it. It is all now paired up, and anytime my phone rings, it would go through the Malibu. Now you can program up to 5 different phones too, which helps keep your entire family nice and safe. Now, hands-free calling, it is sure to be an important discussion for you, and it also brings back the conversation with OnStar. Of course, with the Malibu, OnStar is standard equipment, complete with a subscription to the full directions and connections plan. This includes hands-free calling, where you can actually use OnStar minutes, which come with a no long-distance charge or no roaming charge linked to it. So when you make a call, and if you are a frequent traveler in your vehicle, having no long distance and also no roaming, that can save you a bunch of money that would have normally hit your cellular contract. But OnStar also delivers features like automatic crash notification, and it can also send emergency personnel to your exact location, even if you are unable to respond because of an accident. Now, it can even help you if you have a check engine light. Many of you have had that happen before. If it comes on, you just simply have to press the OnStar button and ask them to do a remote diagnostics. And again, all you have to do is press that one blue button. It's that simple. One button. You then talk to a live person who's there to help you. Now, if you haven't tried it out yet, you do absolutely have to check out the turn-by-turn notification navigation. It is absolutely incredible. Again, you simply press that button, you talk to an OnStar advisor, and you say, hey, I need to go here. You just have to tell them where you'd like to go, and they take care of the rest. They'll send you full turn-by-turn directions using both audible and visual guides that show up on your radio display. Really easy, really quick, and again, you're talking to a live person. Gives you great peace of mind. But I really, when it comes up to it, one press of a button. I think it's the simplest system you could ever imagine. Okay, now I think I've covered almost everything that I had time for in this short presentation. I could tell you a lot more about all the great features of this vehicle, but let me wrap up just with a short summary. For the Malibu, it's all about exceeding expectations. You have 6 standard airbags for all your passenger safety. You have a very fuel-efficient and award-winning engines backed by the best warranty in the business, which gives you that 160,000-kilometer powertrain warranty, which includes courtesy transportation and roadside assistance for that full 5-year or 160,000-kilometer term. That is 60,000 kilometers more than an Accord, 60,000 more than a Camry, and 60,000 more than a Fusion. Customers would normally have to pay up to like $2,000 just to have that extra 60,000 kilometer coverage with that full roadside assistance. That's what we call a Chevrolet value. Now, all models of the Malibu, including the LS, bring you an incredible, luxurious feel at a very affordable price. But don't just take my word for it. Take one of these Malibus out for a drive today and find out for yourself. Okay, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to me, but I hope you've really enjoyed your tour of the Malibu enough to take one out for a drive. Thanks again.